Year 1, welcome to your literacy lesson for Wednesday the 21st of October. Yesterday Miss Hornsey got you writing sentences about a pirate scene, so I hope you got on well with that activity yesterday. Today we're going to be writing a message in a bottle, and let's have a look at what we need to do. So the first thing before we get started for this lesson, you will need the message in a bottle sheets that can be found on our class pages on the Millbrook website, a writing pencil and a rubber if you have one in case you make any mistakes. Lovely. So we're going to be writing some sentences today. Some of you might only write one sentence and some of you might write more than that, but we're going to be thinking about what we need for those sentences. Our sentences always need to start with a capital letter to make sure that it shows it's the beginning of our sentence. We need to make sure that we remember to use our finger spaces to make sure our words are not all jumbled together in one big line. Remember, we finish a word and pop our finger space. And at the very end of your sentence, you need to remember to use your full stops. So now that we know what we're looking for, let's have a look what a message in a bottle is. So pirates couldn't send letters like we do today. They weren't lucky enough to have the Royal Mail and our post boxes. But when they were away at sea for a long time, they still wanted to send notes and letters to tell people what they were doing on their ships. And sometimes it was to let people know that they really needed some help on their ship. Something had gone wrong. And so they would write a message and pop it in a bottle with a cork in the top so that no water got in, and they would hope that it would float to shore and somebody would find it. But most of the time the bottles got lost and their messages went missing, and the people that they wrote them to never got to see them. So we're hoping that our message in the bottles today will make it to the person that we want them to get to. So we're going to be writing our message in a bottle today to the member we wrote a letter to, our invitations to, for the pirate party last week. So some of you wrote to Mr. Rose, Mr. Beish, Mr. Jakes, Mrs. Charlton or Mrs. Youngman. And we're going to be writing them a little message just to tell them that unfortunately we won't be able to have our pirate banquet on Thursday anymore, but we will be having it after half term. So we're just writing a little message to say we're really sorry, but please do come when we have our pirate banquet after half term. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure we know where this message is going. So we're going to be using one of our tricky words, and this tricky word tells the reader who it's for. I wonder if you can remember what that tricky word is. That tricky word is to. We're going to start our message in a bottle with the word to and then one of the adults' names. So my message in the bottle is to Mrs. Charlton. So I've written to Mrs. Charlton. And that's where I've started. Then we need to tell them what's happened. So my sentence is going to be telling her a little bit about what's happening with our pirate banquet. So I've said I've used that tricky word, we are sorry, but the pirate party is cancelled. Please come after half term. So we haven't got very many lines, so I haven't been able to go into too much detail, but I've just let her know that it's cancelled to make sure they don't turn up at the hall on Thursday because none of us will be there. And we will be having it after half term. So I've asked her to please come after half term. So that's my very short message to Mrs. Charlton to let her know that our party has been cancelled. And then right at the end of it, I'm going to have to tell the reader, who's Mrs. Charlton, that it's from me. So we're going to use that word from, and then I've written my name, Miss Mayer. But you're going to have to write your name. Okay, because you're writing your message in the bottle. So when you go and have a go at doing this with on your piece of paper with the message in a bottle, I want to make sure that you're remembering to use that tricky word to at the beginning of your message in a bottle, and remembering to write at the end from with your name so that whoever you've written to knows who it's from. So we are going to be writing a message to one of the adults we invited to the pirate banquet to tell them that we are having it after half term. Okay. Now I've just made a quick word bank that might help you because some of these names are a little bit tricky. So we've got Mr. Beish with here, and if you wrote to Mr. Beish, then you might want to write him a note, but it's up to you which adult you write to today. So you might choose Mr. Beish, you might choose Mr. Jakes, you might choose Mr. Rose, you might choose Mrs. Charlton, or you might choose Mrs. Youngman. So please have a go. Their names are there just because some of them are a little bit tricky to spell. All right, and the other words we might be using is some of these tricky words that we've looked at in phonics, and in our writing, we would be using the word to, we're going to be using the word from, we could be using the word we, but you might want to use the word I. We're going to be using the word are and the. Okay, so there's some words that will help you write our letter to our message in a bottle to the member of staff to tell them that our pirate banquet has unfortunately been cancelled before half term, but we are having it again after half term, which I'm really looking forward to, and I hope you are too. We'll all be dressing up like pirates again after half term. So those pirate costumes have not gone to waste, don't worry. And we will hopefully will be still dressing up on Thursday for our pirate banquet, but from home. Okay, so me and Miss Hornsey will still be in our pirate costumes on Thursday when we do our videos. So I hope you are too. Have a lovely day, and I will see you soon. Bye.